In today's episode, I'm going to be telling you what is wrong with the law of attraction.
You're listening to the Wellness Simplified podcast. Simple wellness tips to help you improve your life without turning it upside down. With your host, award-winning fitness instructor, nutrition coach, and wellness expert, Suzi Fevens.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's true. Today we are going to be discussing the law of attraction and what is wrong with it. Now, the law of attraction became pretty mainstream a few years ago when The Secret hit the newsstands, hit the TV screens. It was all anybody talked about for quite a few years. And because I'm a little bit, I refused to read it or watch it for a long time because it was so popular. Sometimes I'm like that. If something is super popular, I will not watch it or read it out of spite. Like Grey's Anatomy, I have never watched it just because it was so popular. I wanted nothing to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, so I didn't watch it or read it for a long time, but I have since watched the movie. I still have not read the book. And actually, today's episode is more about what's wrong with The Secret's version of the law of attraction versus what's actually wrong with the law of attraction itself. The law of attraction, there's no problem with it. The problem is people's perception of the law of attraction, and that perception that is largely cultivated based on some of those movies, books, etc., like The Secret. The problem is, believe it or not, you can envision yourself being 20 pounds lighter and a whole lot more athletic every single day for 20 years, but it's never going to happen if you don't actually take action. That is the part that is missing from the law of attraction. The Secret is the action step. Now, people who study these laws know that the law of attraction requires an action step. So there's lots of experts that are much more knowledgeable than this than I, who will tell you, yes, you need to be taking action in order to do that. So if you are envisioning yourself 20 pounds lighter and a whole lot more athletic, you're envisioning it, but you're also putting in the work. You're also eating well, you're exercising, you're doing the things, taking the action to support what it is that you want. The people in The Secret who were successful because they took action. They cultivated opportunities, they accepted opportunities, they took chances, they did the work, they did what they needed to do in order to make their goals into reality. That is what is wrong with most people's perception of the law of attraction. Is they think if they can see it in their head, if they can believe it, they're going to attract it into their life. Case closed. That is not the case. There is still work required. If I want to become a best-selling author, I still need to write the book. I can't just say I want to be an author and make it come true. And that's a pretty cut and dry example, because obviously if you want to be a best-selling author, you have to write a book. But if I said that I wanted to be a millionaire, I could still just keep doing the job that I'm doing, getting paid the amount that I'm getting paid, and then in a year from now be really irritated that, what the heck? Nobody has come and given me $1 million. I haven't gotten a serious inheritance. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't have some other magical thing happen. And sure, people do sometimes get inheritances. They do sometimes win the lottery, and those things come without any work involved. But that is not the truth for most people. And those people, sometimes they have been envisioning and manifesting some of that stuff, but they're still doing work. They're still doing other work that is allowing them to win or inherit that money. And it's not going to be a nice straight line that you can see, but there's something going on universe-wise, matter-wise, that is allowing them to win that money or inherit that money or earn that money or find that money, whatever it may be. There's still something else that has gone on. They've opened themselves up to accepting that, and then it arrives. But they aren't just waking up every day saying, I will be a millionaire by August 1st, 2019. And then August 1st comes and they're not a millionaire, but they haven't actually done anything to improve the relationship with money, to increase the odds of them getting money, all of these things. My husband often jokes, how come we never win the lottery? And I keep reminding him, you gotta buy a lottery ticket. Like, unless someone gives us a lottery ticket for a gift, and sometimes people do things like that, we're never gonna win the lottery because we don't buy lottery tickets. There still needs to be an action. If you want to win the lottery, you have to play the lottery. So, the law of attraction is a wonderful law. I truly believe in it. I believe in manifestation. I believe in all of that woo-woo stuff. But I also believe that an action has to be made. I've shared this story a few times. I think I shared it in a live video on my Facebook group, but I'm going to share it again. Many of you know that a couple years ago, 3 years ago actually, we lost our 2 cats. Our cat Oli passed away very suddenly one night, and then our other cat Pico passed away a month later. We had him put to sleep. He was an older cat, and after Oli passed, honestly, stress did him in. But anyway, from the time Oli died, we knew that Pico wasn't going to be around for much longer. We also knew that we could not live a life without cats. Like, we were both so used to having cats. We've had cats all our lives growing up. It was just didn't feel right to not have cats. And we were very specific. My husband was very specific that he wanted a pair of sisters. He wanted 2 cats that knew each other. And he wanted 2 girls because Pico, as much as we loved him, he had some urinary issues and we often had to take him to the vet. He had to be on a prescription medicated diet for most of his life because of the urinary crystals. So he wanted girls because they're less likely to have that. He wanted them to be sisters because he wanted them to know each other, because when we introduced Pico and Oli, there were some issues there. So we wanted a pair of sisters. I selfishly wanted another gray cat. Oli was a gray Russian blue. She was the sweetest cat anyone has ever had. And I wanted another gray cat. And I wanted one that looked quite a bit like Oli, but I didn't want to look like I had just gone out and replaced Oli. So I wanted one that was still gray, still had that same lovely plush fur, but looked different enough that it didn't look like I had just tried to replace my old cat with a new cat. So that was what we wanted. I became obsessed with checking the local SPCA site. I went so far as to have notifications turned on Facebook, so as soon as they posted anything, I knew about it. And I did that before Pico even passed because we knew that it was going to be not that long. So in the end, we had him put to sleep on a Thursday. The following Thursday, I got a notification late in the evening. In my episode with Heather, I talked about this, that I was painting a picture when I got the notification. And I opened it up, and there was this picture of these 2 cats. Sisters, obviously both female. If there were sisters, one was gray, clearly partly Russian blue, so definitely looked quite a bit like Oli, but different enough that it didn't look like I was replacing my cat. They met all of our requirements. My husband also wanted kittens, ones that were quite young. They were 3.5 months at the time. And I was just beside myself. I knew these were my kittens. I knew that I needed to have them. Of course, the SPCA was then closing. It was 9 o'clock. In the morning, I had class and I had a haircut, and I was just absolutely panic-stricken that somebody was going to go reserve these cats before I got there. They don't reserve over the internet or over the phone. You have to be there. You have to fill out a piece of paper, obviously, because a lot of people will reserve things and not ever buy them or get them. And finally, on his way to work, my husband stopped in and started the paperwork to put a hold on them. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, these are my kittens. And we brought them home that day. So it was only a week and a day from the time that Pico passed to the time that we brought the 2 kittens home. And I tell you what, I still believe that I manifested those kittens into our lives. But I took action. I took that action by putting a notification on Facebook that I would find out anytime they posted pictures. If I hadn't done that, I may not have seen that picture until they were already adopted. I made that action. I told the universe, not only do I want this, I am ready to take it. And then I got my kittens. So you might think that that's crazy, and I'm okay with that if you think I'm crazy. Totally, I'm okay with that. But you need to take an action. It doesn't have to be a huge action, but there needs to be some sort of action. If there is something in your life that you want, that you are trying to manifest into reality, you can't just write it down and say it. You need to make some sort of effort to show the universe that you truly want it and that you are ready for it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of homework today, and that's not something I usually do here, but we're going to do it. I want you this weekend, or whenever you're listening to this, next week, a year from now, whatever, I want you to sit down and really think about what it is that you want in your life, what it is that you're trying to manifest, what it is that you're trying to bring into reality, and get very clear on what you want. We were very clear on what we wanted as far as cats go, very clear. And then I want you to figure out what action you can take to tell the universe, to show the universe that you are ready and willing for that to come true. Because sometimes we say we want things, but deep, deep down, we really are not ready, or we really don't want it quite yet. So get very clear on what it is that you want out of life, and figure out what is that action that you need to take to show the universe that you are ready to accept that into your life. So that is it for today's episode. Got a little bit woo-woo here on you, and I hope that you'll indulge me. And you can call me crazy and just pass this episode by if you like, but you know what? You're already to the end of it. So that is it for today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again next week.